as you probably know, there can be ups and downs and periods, I think, where we all have a little moment and we wonder if we're doing the right thing. So one of the ways to build a really strong business is to have revenue coming in from different places. So different streams of revenue, because they're less likely to have a knock on them, have a bump, have those sort of speed bumps when at the same time. So when we have different types of income from different streams, we build a stronger business. I'm stumbling over my words this morning. I'm waiting for my tongue and my brain to engage with each other. So one of the best ways of having multiple streams of income is also not to have to put in a lot of effort into each of those different streams, because obviously running a clinic takes a lot of time and effort and brain power. So having other streams of income that are relatively simple and don't require a lot of things and can also complement your clinic. And one of the best things you can do is to create a recurring revenue stream. So you've probably seen a lot of people do things really badly in terms of having a hairdressing salon or a laser clinic, and then they put up a couple of things that are on sale or a couple of products, but they don't have a full range or they don't do a lot of marketing. My hairdresser, it was terrible. When we went into lockdown a couple of weeks ago, when they extended it, I got a text message saying, during the extended lockdown, you can do click and collect for your products. I went, great, but there's nowhere that you have that tells me what products you have, what price. I can't buy online. What do I do? Do I phone you? I mean, that's all too hard. I can just, with their stuff, I can go anywhere and find that stuff online inexpensively. I don't need to go to them. They're making it too hard for me to buy from them.
So you want to be spoon-fed, Kate, because one of the things that people are talking about is decision fatigue.
Mhm.
We are tired, we're overwhelmed, and we're tired of making decisions. So I'm noticing more and more having to step people through even the most simple things, which as a business owner is quite frustrating. I'm finding that people can't think for themselves. I'm not saying that's you, but it's a real thing, isn't it?
It is. And actually, decision fatigue is a real thing that has been studied. If you Google decision fatigue judges, there's articles that have been around, but there's a very classic article, I think it was in the New York Times or something, where they studied judges who make decisions all day. So you'd think they would be a bit like an elite athlete and they would build up this sort of resilience to making decisions. So what they've found is if you're ever on parole, make sure that you get your parole hearing in the morning, because you're far less likely to get parole granted in the afternoon, because the judges, they have to make decisions about what they're going to have for breakfast, what they're going to wear, where to work today, all these decisions. By the time they've decided what to have for lunch, they hit decision fatigue. So the easiest decision for them to make in the afternoon is to say, no, this person, I'm not going to risk them going out into the community. No, they're not going to have parole. So it's a real thing. And it's why, you probably deal with a lot of people in your clinics who, when they're not in COVID, they're planning a wedding or they're planning an engagement party or some sort of event like that. Or if they're building a house, we get really, really exhausted. And that's from all the decision fatigue. What taps am I going to get? What tiles am I going to get? Are they going to go together? So what we want to do is we want to make it really easy for our customers, but also easy for you guys. Because like I say, your main focus is going to be your clinic and getting people in there, but we can help build things that are complementary to that. So create this recurring revenue. So one of the great things with recurring revenue is to have people on a membership so that every month we know they may not be locked into something, but every month we know we've got a certain amount of that coming in and we can build on that. And if that recurring revenue can also help us build in more clients, it can also help us get more clients into the clinic, then more the better. One of the things is offering products, obviously, for sale, but clearly we know that there are products and there are products. And what we don't want to do, we don't want to offer products that people can get elsewhere cheaper, because then we start competing on price and that's just not good. It doesn't help you build a luxury brand. It doesn't make life easy for you. It starts to become a commodity. So one of the key things is to have something that is unique. You've probably already found this in your clinics, to have products that are more unique or more specific. And actually, Alyssa's got a brand, Science Skincare, which is awesome, because not only does it have products for all different skin types, which is great, because I know that's an issue with some clinic owners. They find they don't have one brand that can do all types. But also, Science Skincare has some products that are prescription only. So this is really great because it means that people can't buy those products unless you have prescribed them as being great for their skin. So again, it helps to position you in this very elite, trusted advisor, health professional, skincare professional, which is exactly what we want. So having products that are unique to your clinic, but also having memberships that, like I say, they can help bring in more business. So I think the easiest way to explain this is to give you an idea. Okay, so here's an example of a subscription that you could offer. So we could call it a VIP or a VIP platinum or something. And we could do something like we could have, okay, we include $150 worth of products, which is valued at $150. We also include a 10-minute mini consult each month, like via Zoom or something, to ensure your skincare goals are being met. Value $50. I mean, these numbers are just a bit arbitrary. Obviously, you'd put your own numbers there. We include two $50 vouchers, one for you and one for a friend. Okay. Now, this is where this subscription is encouraging people to actually bring in more of their friends to your clinic and help you grow your customer base. Give them two vouchers. You very clearly say, this one's for a friend. And actually, I saw someone do a great one that had a space where you could write. So I could write, this gift is to you from Kate.
Mhm.
And I can give it to Alyssa. So as a gift.
I think that one's gold, Kate.
Yeah. Skincare routine cheat sheet. Now, this might seem really simple and very basic to you guys, but you probably know people get really confused about if it's more than just cleanse, tone, and moisturize. They go, well, do I use the serum first or do I use my retinol? Like, do I use the vitamin C or the retinol A first? Like, what can I mix them together and make it a quick thing? Like, but a skincare routine cheat sheet. So you could make that as personal or not. You might have one for aging skincare. You might have one for acne, whatever. The other thing with the skincare routine is to have base products and an advanced routine. So it sort of says like cleanse, whatever. And then some things are like moisturizer and sunscreen essential, but maybe serums and things are an advanced routine. So it sounds as though, oh, well, I want the advanced routine because I want the best results. So skincare routine cheat sheet, put a value on that. Sample products. If you have sample products or monthly specials, you could include that. So you might have certain things that you send to them, which again is seeding more business for yourself because you might send them sample of things and they go, oh, I love this new whatever it is. And again, more revenue. VIP priority, you're at the top of our priority list and first in line for treatment when we open our doors. Value priceless. So I've added that up and the total value is $397, but your price is $167 a month. Okay, so what we want to do with these packages is to make it so enticing that you'd be stupid not to accept them. You're sitting there going, well, I'm getting $150 worth of products that I'm going to use anyway, and I'm getting $100 worth of vouchers, one for me, and a consult, like $400 worth of stuff for $167 a month. I'm spending about that much on products anyway. So like, let's just make this easy. And I haven't added in things like delivered to your door and that kind of stuff, but you can certainly do that. Here's another example of a similar but different one. You might say this is an Adios aging membership. So you could tailor these memberships, if you like, into 2 or 3 core ones, particularly knowing about your customers. You might have an anti-aging one. You might have an acne one, this kind of stuff. So for example, this one is Science Skincare Adios Aging Kit, $389 each month, a bouquet of fresh flowers, because a lot of people will love the idea of pampering themselves with, oh, I get flowers every month. That's fantastic. 10-minute mini consult each month.
Great way to support your, next door florist or your local florist or a local florist in the next suburb, hey? Because they're all trying to make ends meet.
Yeah.
And then you could have something reciprocal with your florist, hey? So you could, maybe as part of your VIP package is 25% off from Sylvia's florist. So you could start doing a bit of cross-pollination.
So this is an example of one. Yep, the bouquet of fresh flowers, local florist, 10-minute mini consult, $200 vouchers, skincare routine, sample products, VIP priority. So this one's $1,816 worth of value for $467 a month. There's just a couple of different ones. And you might have Like I say, you might have a VIP and a VIP Platinum, or you might have a anti-acne or an adios aging or those kind of ones. You could have a couple of different ones. You don't want to do too crazy, but you could start with one and then maybe expand out later. So some subscription ideas are things, as Alyssa was saying, team up with local businesses that your ideal customer is likely to use, but are not in direct competition with you. So things like a nearby florist or Pilates. Every time I look at that word, I think I've misspelled it. I don't even know if that's right. But what sort of things, from listening to the people that you help with skin, what sort of things they're talking about, whether they use the local hairdresser or Pilates or a personal trainer or other health services that don't compete with you. Luxury brands such as chocolates, boutique clothing, hospitality, or giftwares. Now, what you can do is you can piggyback off their customers. So you could do a couple of things. One is, if you get enough people in your membership, you could offer local businesses to include their voucher at $1 each or something. If you get 3 or 4, even 5 vouchers from different customers going in there that are giving great offers to your team, to your people in your membership, you could actually be making a bit of revenue from the local businesses. But you can also piggyback on their customer base, because there might be people who go into the local florist and don't utilize your services. So you could say, well, look, if you can give me a great deal on flowers, or if you want to have a voucher in my thing, then if you'd like to promote it to your customers as well, then we'd be happy to have your people on the membership. So you can work out how you can partner with a couple of local key businesses or other premium businesses. And then you can piggyback on their customer base. And of course, they're also piggybacking on your customer base. Really, this is up to whatever the extent of your imagination is. But Lovely is a great example of this. Now, they just do not subscriptions, but they just do gifts. And they offer same day delivery guarantee. If you order by 2 p.m. in a day, they do same day delivery. So if you're in lockdown and you wanted to offer this in your local area and say, look, we will do delivery in Canberra or in Bathurst or in Orange, if your doors are actually closed and you're not able to operate it, this is something to consider. Like, they've got beautiful branding. I discovered these guys because my sister and we don't normally exchange birthday presents, but it was her birthday this year. And I went, oh my God, she's turning 50 and I haven't got anything. So I got her one of these gift packs with chocolate and candle and the hand cream. I think that one in the middle there, something like that. And I chose to put in the flowers. So the great thing with this is you can choose to have gifts and or flowers. So you can do both. You can do either or. You can use them just for flowers. So I thought, well, this is a great way if you were to offer memberships or deliver gift hamper packages with your products and say, okay, well, we can do this. We can deliver to the local area. Maybe eventually you want to get a courier in. But certainly if you didn't have your doors open and you wanted a way of getting revenue, there are heaps of people looking at the moment going, oh my God, I can't get something delivered in a certain amount of time. My husband was in hospital 2 weeks ago and my sister-in-law in Wollongong said, oh, Kate, I know he's in there from Tuesday till Friday and I've been trying to get something delivered to him and no one will guarantee delivery. And I said, oh, don't worry about it. He's on a special diet. He can't eat the chocolates. But the fact is, there are people out there going, I can't get delivery. And these guys often, they're fantastic. They do same day delivery, Sydney, Melbourne, whatever. But if you're, like I say, you can do the same thing in your area. You could offer to do delivery and just run it around. So these are all different ideas that you could do to help build your business for when your doors open, extend your business when your doors are open by doing things like having a voucher for the person and a voucher that's a gift voucher to give to a friend. Is this making sense?
Yeah, I'm thinking too, those sorts of packages, they really suit our clientele. They're the sort of things that really appeal to them because of that aesthetic nature. You know, the quality, the color. It's quite a sensory experience to do something like that. I think it would really suit them. I was also thinking, just like on the hop too, with things like vouchers and your VIP packages, you could do things like top up hair removal. You could say get 2 underarm top ups per year at no cost as part of your package. So think about all of the things that you're doing that don't cost you a lot of money, but just keep that real warm touch and that connection with them.
And the other thing is that it doesn't cost you much, but the value to the customer, you can put it on a list like that and say it's got a value of X amount, but the value to the customer, like, I mean, I've had my bikini and underarms done, and the idea of going, okay, well, I could have a top up once or twice a year for any of those stray ones, that's really very appealing. And as Alyssa said, people who are coming to us are largely, they are interested in aesthetic, they're interested in luxury and pampering and all of this kind of stuff. So to put together these kind of pamper packages that people could give as a gift to someone as a one-off, but more importantly for your business to have these memberships so that you can get them to keep coming back. Because it can also just be that tipping point between, well, I've done my underarms. I was thinking about getting my bikini line, but maybe, I've got a $50 voucher. And obviously you want to put your terms and conditions on the vouchers to make it very clear. Can they use 2 or more of them at one time? Can they only use them once at a time? Can they use them in conjunction with other offers? All of that kind of stuff needs to be really clear, because you might not want someone coming in with 5 of them and going, right, I've got 5 $100 vouchers. Let's get into it. Depends. I mean, it's entirely up to you.
If it's monthly, it would probably make sense that it's only valid for that month. Otherwise, you're going to end up with someone saving up 12 of them, and you're not going to get that repeat business. So if you're doing a treatment, say you're doing a dermal filler, for example, you're not going to see that patient for 6, maybe 12 months. If you've got that voucher, you're going to have them going, all right, well, had my cheeks and my lips done. What else is there that I could do? What else can I spend my money or what can I use my voucher for? So it becomes that gateway to doing other treatments as well.
Yep. It really is. It's a justification to get that something extra. Exactly. It makes them start to think, as you just suggested, it makes them start to think, what else can I get? How can I use this? How can I take advantage of this? Now, we know that with gift vouchers and that kind of thing, a lot of them don't get used. That's the other thing, is people won't necessarily use them, but they do help to make the package look really enticing. Because if someone's offering you this $400 package every month for $170, $200, it's pretty enticing. It's pretty enticing, particularly when you can justify it and go, well, I'm buying things from them anyway, and I haven't really added that up, but I'm probably spending about, nearly $200 a month on this, that, and the other. Doesn't it? So this just makes sense, and it makes it easy. And if it was
for a business to have that predictable revenue, that predictable cash flow, and then if you do have to go back into lockdown, just slightly tweak your subscription. So if you can't actually do the clinic treatments, keep your subscription going, but substitute that for something else that's really accessible. So I don't know, a board game for them, for their family for 1 month maybe. And I can't think of something else, but thinking about different experiences. Yeah.
Or you might change your terms and conditions. So we might say, okay, well, after lockdown opens, we'll let you use 2 vouchers a month for 2 months or something. I mean, you might just decide to do that. So really, it's a matter of making it easy, but also making it easy for customers, because so many of us these days, one of the benefits of lockdown is most of us have discovered more and more, hey, we can get stuff delivered to our door that we don't need to go out and get, right? So if I can get my monthly skincare routine delivered to my door, how fantastic is that? And if the products are lasting, like if I'm buying a cleanser every second month or something else every second month, and I'm buying $300 worth of stuff every 2 months, that's why having $150 a month can work really well. Now, we want to be careful, because we want to make sure when we position it, this is the other thing with the membership and having all these things, we are keeping ourselves away from the proactives and those kind of things, which are more, they're not so much positioned as a luxury brand. And also, if you do any Googling, those sorts of brands, a lot of people, there'll be people out there going, I signed up and they keep taking the money, and I've phoned them 4 times and they won't cancel it, blah, blah, blah. Whereas if you say, this is including all these things and there's no lock-in contract, or you might have 2 months or 3 months if you want to, but no lock-in contracts, people will kind of forget that it's there and they'll just keep letting it roll. Okay. And they will get their products. It's not like we're not trying to rip anyone off here. It's just about giving them a lot of value if they take advantage of it. Not everyone will take full advantage of all of the things every month. So, and it also helps you to look really generous. So it's always good to look like you're giving over and above, under promise, over deliver. So I think this is really a great way of getting an extra stream into your business, it can iron out those ups and downs. And really, if I do some maths, like if there's 30 people a month and they're paying, what do we have some of those?
157 was one of them, I think.
Pardon?
157 was one of them, wasn't it?
Yep. 167. So if I did 40 people a month times 167, that's 6,680 a month times 12 months. That's $80,000 worth of revenue, which is not massive in and of itself, but an extra $80,000 worth of revenue that it gives you something extra that you can post on social media from time to time. Hey, have you become one of our VIPs? Or you can keep it behind the velvet curtain and just make it, hey, Alyssa, as one of our most valued customers, wanted to invite you to become a member, which is really
I've worked with a clinic in Sydney who deal with a lot of high-profile Chinese customers, and one of their subscriptions is $100,000 a year. And that is pretty much whatever you want you can have with the ethical reason. But yeah, the customers in Central Sydney, they're not even blinking. They're just laying the money on the table.
Well, that's the other thing to consider is you could even make another package this is a marketing thing that is known to work in businesses, is to have something that is talk aboutable. So you don't necessarily expect to sell a lot of them, but they're talk aboutable. So it could be the ultimate pamper weekend or something. You get a weekend at the Hyatt and you get this and you get that so you don't sell very many of them, but it's just very talk aboutable. It's a bit like the difference between having a regular hamburger and some of the ones that we've seen on Instagram and things, those really massive, just oozing cheese patties, disgusting kind of, but they're talk aboutable, right? So if you look at Instagram food, there's often things that are very over the top. And so Lisa and I both know the people behind Lick Your Phone. And so they do a lot of videos with over the top kind of food, but it's talk aboutable. So yes, you can package things up and have a talk aboutable product that is just really over the top, and you might sell some of it.
The other clever thing I see built into VIP packages, which are a great advantage for your clinic as well, is that those that are on your VIP list also have access to being models and getting reduced treatments. And they also not only just tie that in, but they tie in the fact that there's something reciprocal that they need from that model as well. So from that VIP. So that VIP will get something like 30% off treatments to model, which is great for them for the hip pocket to start with. But in return, you want 1 or 2 photos or a before and after photo or a 3-minute clip of the procedure in progress. So that's another great thing to build in that's actually not going to cost you anything, but the pays, and they'll want to actively participate and help you promote your clinic.
And if they don't want to be in that sort of field and having the photographs, you can offer them special member prices of like, well, you're a member, so you get 10% off or whatever it is. So you can have member prices because people also just love being part of a membership, being part of a group and a community. So, and then it's up to you whether you want to have a Facebook group or something especially for that. I mean, that's kind of up to you what value you could give them in that group. We don't want it to be a dead group. So, but yeah, I think these are a really great way of fostering loyalty, building your client base, having another stream of income, and having this regular recurring revenue that you can almost bank on and go, well, I know I'm going to get $6,500 a month just on membership.
Thank you. All right. We might wrap it up. Okay. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you, Wayne. Absolutely. All right.